When factorising, the first thing we're going to look at is the third term, which is 6 in this case, and think about their products and their multiples. So we have 1 times 6, 2 times 3. The next thing we need to do is think about the middle term, and we need to pick one where the 2 adds up to be the middle term, that is 5x. Now 1 plus 6 does not add up to 5, but 2 plus 3 does. So the factorized form of this quadratic formula is going to be x plus 2 and x plus 3. And the roots in this case are x equals negative 2 and x equals negative 3. Let's try another example. So in the same way, the first thing we're going to look at are the products of negative 8. So we have 2 times 4, or we can have 1 times 8. And each of them could be plus or minus because the combination of them creates negative 8. Now let's think about which of them add up to negative 2. Well, 1 and 8 can't be it, so it's going to have to be 2 and 4. So it can either be plus 2, negative 4, or negative 2 and plus 4. And the one that adds up to be negative 2 is to add 2 minus 4. So that's what we're going to go with. So the factorized form will be x plus 2, x minus 4. And the x's will be x equals negative 2 and x equals plus 4. Right, next example. What's different about this one is that we have a 2 as the first term, but we approach it similarly. So let's name them A, B, and C. The first thing we're going to do is multiply A by C together. So we have 2 multiplied by negative 12 to give us negative 24. Step 2 is to find the multiples of this. So we can have 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, 4 times 6, and that's our options. And each of them can be plus or minus. Step 3 is to add them together in order to find B. Which is negative 5. So look at this, it can't be 1 and 24 or 2 and 12. It could be 3 times 8, but it's not 4 and 6. So it has to be 3 and 8. And remember that this could be plus or minus. So looking at this, we're going to have plus 3 and negative 8 in order to get negative 5. So the factorized form of this, actually before that we need to divide it by A. So we have plus 3 over 2, or we can have negative 8 over 2, where 2 is A. So negative 8 over 2 is negative 4. So in order to write that the factorized form, it equals 2x plus 3 multiplied by x minus 4. And that's where the negative 4 comes from. And the 2 comes from the denominator. And the 3 comes from the numerator. And so the x equals negative 3 over 2. And x equals 4. Let's do one more example like this. So we have 3x squared plus 19 plus 20. So a times c equals 3 times 20, which is 60. Looking at the multiples, we have 1 times 60, 2 times 30, 3 times 20, 4 times 15, 5 times 12, and 6 times 10. And they need to add up to 19. So it's not the first one, or the second one, or the third one. It could be 4 times 15. It's not 5 and 12. And it's not 6 and 10. So it's 4 and 15. we need to divide each of them by 3. So we have 4 over 3 and 15 over 3, which gives us positive 5. So the factorized form is going to be 3x plus 4 and x plus 5. And the x's will be negative 4 over 3 and x will be negative 5. You might notice that they're the opposite sign to what we have found earlier.